Have you ever considered the implications of the Trump fraud trial and the potential impact on his business empire? This trial, which has been a focal point of national and international attention, can be seen as a litmus test for accountability in the world of business and politics. At the core of the case is a question about the honesty of former President Donald Trump's financial disclosures. The lawsuit alleges that Trump inflated his net worth by billions to secure loans, a serious offense that could have far-reaching consequences. The stakes are high, with the Attorney General seeking a staggering $370 million in penalties and a ban on Trump operating a business in New York. If found guilty, the former president could face significant financial penalties and restrictions on his business activities. So let's delve into the events leading up to this monumental trial. The path leading to the trial was anything but straightforward. The events that unfolded were a whirlwind of allegations, testimonies, and legal maneuvers. Central to this was the former president, Donald J. Trump, who was accused of inflating his net worth by billions to secure loans, a charge that would send ripples through the financial and political landscape. But Trump was not alone in this. His family, particularly his daughter Ivanka and his sons, played significant roles in the unfolding drama. Ivanka, who made $4 million from a controversial old post office lease deal in Washington, D.C., found herself under the spotlight. The New York Attorney General argued that her father exaggerated his net worth to secure the lease, thrusting Ivanka into the role of a key witness. However, her recollection of key details was anything but clear, causing further complications in an already complex case. The New York Attorney General's office, led by Letitia James, was relentless in its pursuit. They sought staggering penalties that totaled in the hundreds of millions of dollars. The charges were serious and the implications were far-reaching. If found guilty, the former president could face significant financial penalties and restrictions on his business activities in New York. The legal actions of the New York Attorney General were not isolated incidents. The allegations against Trump were part of a larger case that had been years in the making. The judge in the case, Arthur Engoron, had a daunting task ahead of him. With no jury, the power was in his hands alone, and he had to make decisions that would not only impact the individuals involved but also potentially shape the future of the Trump business empire. As the trial date approached, tension and anticipation built. The stakes were high, the players were ready, and the stage was set for one of the most significant trials in recent history. The trial proceedings were a spectacle in their own right, with each side presenting their case. The courtroom drama unfolded in New York, where the state's Attorney General, Letitia James, put the former president's claims of wealth under scrutiny. Ivanka Trump was also called to the stand, where she struggled to recall key details about the costly penalty threat her father faced regarding the federal old post office lease deal in Washington, D.C. The prosecution alleged that Trump exaggerated his net worth to secure this lease, a claim that was echoed in other instances of alleged fraudulent activity. It was a case that hinged on the complex world of financial transactions and valuations, with the state arguing Trump inflated his net worth by billions to secure loans. On the defense side, the former president's lawyers asserted that their client had done nothing wrong. They painted a picture of a businessman whose wealth was as flamboyant as his personality, arguing that any discrepancies in his financial statements were not fraudulent, but simply a part of doing business on a grand scale. However, the judge was not swayed by these arguments. Judge Arthur Engoron debunked Trump's claims that his Mar-a-Lago property was worth over $1 billion, highlighting deed restrictions that prohibited valuing the property as a private residence. This led to a discussion on fraudulent valuations, which served as a significant part of the prosecution's case against Trump. As the trial proceedings reached their conclusion, the courtroom was left in suspense. The scales of justice seemed to waver as the defense and prosecution put forth their final arguments. The prosecution was seeking penalties totaling hundreds of millions of dollars, while the defense was fighting to protect Trump's business empire and his financial reputation. With the trial proceedings concluded, all eyes were on the judge for the final verdict. The verdict, when it came, was a crushing blow for Trump. Justice Arthur F. Engoron, who held the power to decide the fate of the former president, delivered a sweeping array of punishments that not only threatened Trump's business empire, but also his political aspirations. The judge found Trump liable for conspiring to manipulate his net worth, ordering him to pay a hefty penalty of nearly $355 million. But the financial blow didn't stop there. With the addition of substantial interest, the penalty for the former president rose to an astounding $450 million, according to the Attorney General Letitia James. Justice Engoron didn't mince words when criticizing Trump and the other defendants for their refusal to admit wrongdoing. He described their complete lack of contrition and remorse as bordering on pathological. While acknowledging that Trump hadn't committed violent crimes, he made it clear that the defendants were incapable of admitting their errors. But the financial penalty was just the tip of the iceberg. Justice Engoron also barred Trump for 3 years from serving in top roles at any New York company, including his own Trump Organization. This ruling also extended to Trump's adult sons, who were ordered to pay over $4 million each, throwing into doubt whether any member of the family could run the business in the near term. Despite these setbacks, Trump is expected to appeal the financial penalty. However, he will have to either come up with the money or secure a bond within 30 days. Although the ruling won't render him bankrupt, as most of his wealth is in real estate, it certainly puts a dent in his available cash. The verdict marked a turning point in Trump's business career. With bans on running businesses, hefty fines, and the shadow of the verdict hanging over him, the future of Trump's empire remains uncertain. The aftermath of the verdict was as dramatic as the trial itself. Following the announcement of the nearly $450 million penalty, Donald Trump was quick to react. From his Palm Beach home, Mar-a-Lago, he launched an attack on both Attorney General Letitia James and Justice Engoron, branding them as corrupt. Unsurprisingly, Trump has vowed to appeal the financial penalty. His lawyer, Alina Habba, mirrored Trump's sentiments, describing the ruling as a manifest injustice, plain and simple. She expressed confidence that the appellate division would overturn what they perceive as an egregious verdict. However, in the interim, Trump will need to either secure the funds or a bond within just 30 days. The financial penalty is not the only concern for Trump and his business empire. Justice Engoron imposed a 3-year ban on Trump serving in top roles at any New York company, including his own Trump Organization. Furthermore, his adult sons also received a 2-year ban, casting a shadow of uncertainty over who will helm the business in the near term. Adding to their woes, the court extended the appointment of an independent monitor at the Trump Organization for 3 years. This move was met with fierce opposition from Trump's lawyers, who claimed that the monitor's work had already cost the business over $2.5 million. The continued oversight of the privately held company by the monitor, Barbara Jones, is seen by the Trumps as both an irritant and an insult. While the ruling may not render Trump bankrupt, as most of his wealth is in real estate, it could potentially wipe out his entire stockpile of cash. The verdict could have far-reaching effects on his business empire and future political aspirations. With this verdict, the landscape of Trump's business empire could change drastically. The Trump fraud trial has left us with several key takeaways. First, we've seen the power of the judiciary in action, with Justice Engoron delivering a crushing defeat to Mr. Trump in his civil fraud case. The verdict is a clear message that even the most powerful figures are not above the law. Second, the penalty imposed on Mr. Trump, nearing $450 million, is a testament to the severity of his fraudulent actions. This could potentially wipe out his entire stockpile of cash, affecting his future business endeavors. Moreover, the ban on Mr. Trump and his sons from serving in top roles at any New York company for the next few years threatens the future of the Trump Organization. Finally, the appointment of an independent monitor to oversee the Trump Organization is a significant development, ensuring close scrutiny of the company's transactions. As we watch the fallout from this verdict, it's clear that the Trump fraud trial will remain a significant event in the world of business and politics for years to come.